Happy Empire Day, scumbags. This is Vote of No Confidence. I'm Andrew Fantasia.
Rob McDonald.
And if you don't know how Vote of No Confidence works, too bad. No, I'm just kidding. We're going to tell you how it works. How this works.
We're not that cruel.
Yeah, yet. How this works is Rob and I have been given a topic by James and Brock, a topic with two sides. And we have to argue one of the sides. There was a coin toss involved, and Rob was given one side of the argument. I was given the other. We might not necessarily agree with what we're saying, but for your entertainment, we're going to stick it out and pretend like we do. So what happens after the video?
So, obviously this video is called Vote of No Confidence, and we are essentially, in that case, two Galactic Senators, and we are reporting to you, the Galactic Senate. We're telling you our points, we're telling you our sides, and you guys decide. In the comments below, you say, oh, Andrew's running circles around Rob in this one. No, Rob's clearly right, or whatnot. Say whatever you want. That's the point of the comment section.
You can even comment on how handsome we are, because we like that.
Oh, yeah,
we
absolutely.
like when that happens.
Yeah. Tell me how nice and tight my shirt is.
It's a nice, tight shirt.
Anyway, what is our topic for today?
Our topic today is, you know, when we're in the playground and we're like, my dad can beat up your dad.
Yeah.
This is like that, but instead of dads, it's Imperial officers. Because today we are finding out who is cooler, Grand Moff Tarkin or Director Krennic. It's on. Now, of course, I'm on the side of Director Krennic. That's why I'm wearing white, like him. But you're pushing for Tarkin today.
I'm, of course, pushing for Tarkin. I think it's the obvious one, but I'll deem to you. I'll deem to the underdog.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, my first point that I find that Krennic so appealing is that he's an active businessman. He didn't just wait around, and he didn't sit and wait for things to happen to react to them. He was a much more proactive character. If you've read Catalyst, you know that he was playing a very long-term strategy with the Ursos, with Tarkin, with the Empire in general. His ambitions were lofty as hell. I mean, he wanted to get in Palpatine's good graces, and to do so, it was basically his idea put forth to be like, let's have this a battle station that the Empire can use to rule the galaxy through the fear of this station and go around and, you know, basically enforce our will or else. And Krennic not only, you know, developed these plans for the station, but he put them forth. He didn't just say, here's my idea, go make it happen. He flew to Geonosis. He got Archduke Poggle the Lesser and all the Geonosians that were left after that planet got gassed, and he said, how would you like to work, you know, earn a living, we'll give you food, but you come work for the Empire now. And he did it. He took that race that the Empire pretty much wiped out themselves, and he gave them hope, for lack of a better term, even if it was false hope, and he put them to work for the Empire. That's like finding stray people from Alderaan and forcing them to build another Death Star. Like, can you imagine? So he managed to do that. He got Geonosians to come work on the Death Star. Of course, it was a long, arduous process. It took many, many, many years. There was a lot of setbacks and failures, and anybody who works in construction knows it's not easy. But he was the one who figured out that we need kyber crystals. If this thing is going to do what we want it to do, we need kyber crystals. And again, he didn't just say, hey, Empire, we need kyber crystals, go make it happen. No, he found the leading experts on kyber crystals, Jyn Erso, and his wife, his wife's name escapes me. Jyn Erso's, Galen Erso's wife.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. She was my favorite character in Catalyst, too.
I'm blanking right now, too. Our producers.
Oh, yeah, our producer's mouthing her name. Lyra.
Oh, Lyra.
Thank you, Lyra Erso. Yeah, I'm sorry. She was my favorite. I should have remembered that. But he found them, and Galen and Lyra were sort of the mind. They were the experts on kyber crystals. They were the Indiana Jones of kyber crystals. Especially Lyra. She would, you know, get down there and find them in caves and stuff like that. So he got these two experts to come together to work on this project, specifically Galen, because Galen was a mathematical expert. Mm-hmm. And he's the one who found them, who set them up with whatever they needed and basically said, come do this for the Empire, help us build this thing. He was there every step of the way to ensure that Galen was doing what he wanted Galen to do. He was a hands-on boss. And the Empire is really lacking with that. Usually it's just a bunch of bureaucratic people who just sit back and let the troopers do all the work. So the fact that Orson Krennic developed these Death Star ideas, spearheaded the construction of the Death Star, developed the idea of using the Kyber crystal as an energy source, and then found and utilized Kyber crystal experts and mathematicians to, come up with the numbers that would make this work. All of this was under Krennic's umbrella. It's exhausting work, but he did it. And Tarkin did not.
He did do it. But the thing is, Tarkin is a villain through and through. He's not only a villain to the rebels, he's a villain to certain people within his own group of Imperials. And Krennic is one of those people to Tarkin. And the beauty about what Tarkin does is that he is such a higher up. He's such there that he literally instructs people to do or gets people to do what he wants. And then suddenly he's just like, with Krennic, everything he just did there. And Tarkin just goes, okay, that's wonderful. I'll take that. Thank you very much. That's mine now. Like literally like a childhood thing where it's like a bigger kid comes to the smaller kid and he's just like, oh, you're playing with that toy. I'll take it now. I like this toy. I'm going to play with it now too. So literally what Tarkin is so and expertly performed by Peter Cushing within that first movie, that he's just there. He has Darth Vader that will go out and actually get Leia, catch Leia with the stormtroopers, and then he gets them over, and he just literally just keeps moving these chess pieces around into his benefit. Sure, you could argue that didn't work out for him at the end of A New Hope, but still, that's the thing that made him such a good villain, and even especially in Rogue One, to an extent. When those two are in the same on the screen together, Krennic and Tarkin, you're kind of I don't know, it's maybe just me, but I'm kind of rooting for Krennic a little bit there. It's like he's getting screwed by Tarkin the whole way through,
he really
and
is.
and Tarkin's just really pushing around. So I'm kind of like, even though he's a villain to when I use him in reference to Jyn Erso, he's kind of like a slight good guy, or at least riding the line a little bit when he's going up against Tarkin, because again, that's all that keeps happening. Tarkin screws him over. Vader just cuts off his air supply, starts making puns, and the poor guy. And the poor guy, Krennic, just has to go there and take it, because he's done some like work. He's the working man within that, but Tarkin's the real villain. Tarkin's the guy that's just like, hey, I'm the leader here. I'm gonna get shit done, even though you're doing the shit for me. I'm gonna accomplish this task with your help. But again, he's the villain. He's gonna take everything that you did for him, and he's gonna use it to his advantage to kill entire planets, like and to destroy Leia's homeworld and whatnot. So yeah, it's that's what a real villain is, in my opinion.
Well, and that to me, sort of, to take that and kind of turn it around is what I think makes Krennic more sympathetic, as you're saying, as a character, is because he, everybody has done something where they put so much work and effort and passion into something, and then along comes someone else and they take that away from you. And that's exactly what happens in Rogue One. The Death Star was, for all intents and purposes, Krennic's baby. And once it was impressive enough that even Tarkin and Vader and Palpatine were impressed, that's when Tarkin's like, mine. And it's summed up so beautifully in that final scene when Krennic's about to die, and he's lying there, Cassian has just shot him, and he's lying on the tower, and he looks up and he sees the Death Star pointing right at him, and that look on his face, he's just like, those bastards, they took my toys. And like, it's so heartbreaking, and it makes him more human to me. And even just in terms of like what kinds of villains they are, Tarkin is a much more otherworldly, larger than life kind of villain, and I feel like Krennic, he's a much more human, relatable kind of guy. I feel like everybody knows somebody like Orson Krennic. Everybody works with somebody like that. He's like this two-faced kind of guy who pretends to be your friend, and he uses you for something, and then as soon as you've outlived your purpose, you've overstayed your welcome, he's going to cast you aside, which is what he did to Galen Erso. And he showed off a side of the Empire that I don't think we see enough of, that I think would be really fun to see more of, because we see, you know, stormtroopers and Tarkin and all those officers, they represent the military side of the Empire, which we see the most of. People like Palpatine, Masameda, they represent the political side of the Empire, which, you know, we see more in the books, but it's there too, it's present. But what Krennic represents that I would love to have just more of, because it's so much fun, is the corporate side of the Empire. Remember, the Empire is for lack of a better term, it's a corporate government. It's just run on this bureaucracy where just money talks. And Krennic is somebody who realizes that, and he's just this cutthroat. He's the Gordon Gekko of the Empire. He's like, I'm going to get to the top, and don't you effing get in my way. So that's one of the great things Star Wars movies always does, is when a new one comes out, it shows us a different side of something we're already familiar with.
Right.
And I think Krennic is a perfect representation of that. He's also, I think he's a lot braver than people give him credit for. You know, everybody says, oh, wow, Tarkin's so brave because he's the only one that Vader respects, and, you know, he can stand right next to Vader and give him orders. And yeah, that's true. That's ballsy. But we have to remember, in Rogue One, Krennic wanted a promotion so badly that he flew to Vader's house, knocked on his front door, disturbed his butler, who was probably busy watching Downton Abbey or something, and he's like, can you please call Vader out here because I need to ask him for a promotion. He got Vader out of the bath so Vader could walk out the door and be like, what do you want? And Krennic's like, hey, just so you know, I just want to remind you that I made this Death Star, and it's really powerful, and it's probably going to help the Empire out a lot, so you're going to, you know, give me a promotion, right? Right? And then he got, you know, for his troubles, he got choked and he got some puns. But not many people are brave enough to knock on Vader's door and ask for things from him, especially when they've kind of failed to deliver anything. You know, Vader's a guy who's like, what have you done for me lately? So Krennic doing that was something that's just like unheard of. You don't knock on Vader's door and ask for money, but he did. And, you know, he didn't get what he wanted, but that right there is a testament to just how driven this man is.
Oh yeah, he's certainly a driven guy without a doubt. I mean, if we were talking about, yeah, perhaps he is to an extent more relatable as a person, as a workplace person, right? But to me, what Tarkin does so much better than what he does is that, again, he's a villain. That's like the number one thing. Yeah, perhaps, you know, you don't see too many sides to him, at least in the movies. In the books, you obviously get more to Tarkin. But in terms of the movies, he's just that guy that you want to hate, that you want there. It's like, you know, you got Leia, you just destroyed her, you just ordered the Death Star to destroy Alderaan. Like, literally, he's that person that you go into and hating more as a villain. You know, it's like even Vader, he's a villain, but he's cool. So more so than that. But it's like, if you're watching as a kid, you're just like, oh my God, that guy, what is he doing? He's annoying and whatnot. And that's just the beauty of it all. That he's there and he's manipulating everything, and he is, even to an extent, completely manipulating Krennic. Because you mentioned how Krennic, you know, is not only just there. He's getting Galen Erso to do stuff against his will. Mm-hmm. He's, at the end of the day, he's getting the same thing done to him that he's doing to Galen Erso by Tarkin, right? Because Tarkin's using him in a very similar type of way, except he just until towards the end he doesn't realize that he's being used by him. So to me, that's the thing, that it's just strictly, if we're talking about the more developed character to an extent, there's definitely an argument for Krennic. But in terms of villain, he is the real villain. Like Tarkin's the real better villain between the two.
Those are all valid points. Let me close with this one from a completely superficial standpoint. Let's pretend that we are Imperial officers, okay? Mm-hmm. And let's pretend we both, we're on a shopping spree, and we walk into the mall, and the Darth Mall. And
I'm sorry, guys.
Hey, if Vader can say choke on your aspirations, I can say whatever the hell I want. So we walk into this mall, and we walk into the Imperial version of Abercrombie and Fitch. Okay. And there's two.
I like where this is going.
I know, right? There's two mannequins in the window. One of them has the gray-green Tarkin outfit. Another one has the white Krennic outfit. Which one are you buying?
Does the Tarkin outfit have all the extra sigils that
the medals? No, it's just
damn
the
it.
outfit.
Well, I think that's the ultimate point. Which one would you buy? Do you want to be wearing white or do you want to be wearing gray? What is the choice? So that's left to you guys. Comment below and tell us who you think is the better character, the better villain, whatever way you want to put it, Krennic or Tarkin.
Let us know, folks, and we'll see you next time on Vote of No Confidence.
Hey scumbags, thanks for watching. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up on our video. As always, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Rebel Scum Podcast, for all the latest videos.